Ian Wheeler has a torn ACL. Webster needs some Webster. Got a neck injury. I mean, a growing injury. And then we already seen the unfortunate things of Douglas Coleman with the neck injury. So we're a little banged up, but we're going to talk more into it after this.
Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
They got tuned in for another episode of I'm so used to doing Side Town, Chicago Bears Central. Hey, we just came in for a little update because the news has dropped. We have three current injured reserve players on this team that just placed on IR a couple minutes ago. We have, unfortunately, we as you know, we've been watching Hard Knocks. You know, Ian Wheeler has been fighting for the third string running back spot between him, Valus, and Travis Homer. And he became more of a favorite for the Bears fans over the past few weeks going to into the season. And we just found out that this man has a torn ACL, so it's looking like he might not make the team, and it's looking like Valus has just basically been announced as the third string running back. What's your thoughts on Ian as we before we go into the other two?
I mean, I like the young man, but unfortunately for him, he just took one step closer to being a doctor. It's just the reality of the situation, man. He's a good kid. Most of the preseason was solid for him, except for the last game. But hey, Vegas proved that at least on the outside zone runs that he's a viable asset to this team as long as he can hold on to the ball, get them in open space. And you kind of want to see that. You can't teach speed. You can't teach
Right.
athleticism. And that's what my man has. And, we spent the entire training camp kind of being down on Vegas. And he's basically, backing himself into the position. But best of luck to Ian Wheeler wherever he ends up. Maybe he'll be back in training camp next season after he recovers from this injury. Just prayers up for my guy. It is what it is.
Definitely prayers up. Yeah, it kind of sucks because I thought at least they would look at him as possibly as a guy we could use as special teams because as Bobby noted in last game, special team mainly our return specialist is a problem. And I feel like he probably could have been somebody we could look at because in his time in college, he was known as a guy on special teams to get some work done in that facet. But that ain't happening this year. He tore his ACL. Hopefully, he recovers as fast as possible. But like he said, I think he said he was going to be a physician, if I'm not mistaken, or something like
Mm-hmm.
that, or a psychiatrist. One of them. It was one with a P. That's all I know. But yeah. Hopefully, that's why they always say always have a backup plan. So he definitely has a back plan where he's going to make have a hell of a career for himself. So yeah, that's not good news we necessarily wanted to hear, but it is what it is. Now we also have somebody who had I would say a somewhat standout game, but he's been a part of this squad for a nice little minute. The Simba Webster has been placed on IR with a growing injury. Now we all know that he played pretty well, especially in that last half of the game. Um, last week or last Thursday or this Thursday, and yeah, we thought like he was going to make the team again. He's pretty much been on and off the team on the practice squad for the last few years, but they placed him on IR, so it must be a significant growing injury. What's your thoughts on that?
Hey, you don't want to play with the groin. You need that to be effective at anything, to walk
Facts.
properly. And my man's he. It sucks that the injuries are happening to these players, but the reality is, I'd rather it be these guys than any of our top guys. That's just the nature of
Damn.
football. I mean, seriously, like these are
Yeah.
bottom of the order, bottom of the depth chart, bottom of the barely making the team kind of players that's getting hurt right now. So at the end of the day, man, I don't want Webster to be hurt, but I prefer him over one of our top tier guys. And
Facts.
hopefully he can catch on with another team as well because he's been practice squad mostly for his career here with the Chicago Bears. And it's next man up, man. That just sucks.
Yeah, it is. And yeah, he was 83 for the Bears for those who don't know. So yeah, like he's somebody I seen that we could have used in a slot game and other things, other facets. But I think this move also maybe gives the cushion for why am I his name? The 6'6" motherfucker. I don't know why his name is dropping is out of my
Talking about
head.
Johnson.
Johnson, yes. It
Yeah.
gives a leeway for Johnson even more to make the team because we know he's been battling an injury, and that's why he didn't play the last two games. But with this being said, I think he's have a Colin Johnson, that's his name.
Hmm.
Colin Johnson has a good chance to make this team now with him being gone. Because like I said, he's kind of been lingering around this franchise as a piece that we could possibly pull in if necessary. So Colin has a good chance to do it. And our final guy that been placed on IR. Now I don't know if you see it because we didn't really talk about it because during the game they didn't really show it, and I don't know where I was at. Maybe I walked off at that point, but Douglas Coleman during that game against who we played last.
Kansas City.
Kansas City. He had a tackle, and it was very Ryan Shazier like. Like the tackle didn't look as bad as you did, but you know he kind of leaned his neck back, and he just fell to the ground. You could see him trying to like feel around, so we knew it was a serious injury, but we didn't see the whole carting off the field, leaving in an ambulance type of deal during the
Yeah.
game. So
Right.
we kind of found out after the game. Um, During the game, they said he got I don't know if he got airlifted, but he was taken to a hospital and he was released the next day. So that was good news. But we come to find out today that it's a neck injury and he is placed on IR. They didn't really give any specifications of the exact injury of the neck. But what's your whole thoughts about that? Because I feel like we didn't really know about this guy to let or what happened the situation till later on.
I mean, a neck injury is tough. Like that's one of the
Yeah.
worst injuries you could have as a football player, as a person. Period. My wife works in emergency rooms, and there's two things that she always say. You know, you want to protect your back, your neck. You want to make sure those things are solid, just
Yep.
throughout your life. So hopefully, this is not as serious as it looked. They did
Yeah.
show him being carted off in the ambulance. We were just kind of like in our zone over here on the channel when it was happening. But you know, it's sad to see, man. But again, these are situations in which these guys are going to find themselves not on the team. Unfortunately for them, you know, the injuries play a role in the decision making process. Obviously, unless you're like a top pick, and depending on when you were that top pick, you know, other than that, it's a wrap for these guys.
Yeah, like when it comes to Douglas, I'm just glad he's at home. He's been released. He's back at home. So I'm just glad that he's okay. For the most part, it doesn't seem like it's something very significant. Like they said, it was more of a scare more than anything. But yeah, I'm pretty glad that he just fine as a human because, like you said, the neck is nothing you want to play about. It's probably one of the most freakiest, scariest injuries to actually see before your eyes. So yeah, I'm just glad the kid because he is young. He's 26 years old, so hopefully he it's not as bad. Hopefully there's no spinal problems, no spinal issues, so he can recover and still live out his dream because he's still young.
Is this true? The Bears made another trade for Browns D tackle Chris Williams. I don't see anything.
I don't know. I didn't see anything. Let me check Twitter real quick.
Yeah,
Because it'd be funny if we broke if some fake news be broken on some shit like this. Yeah, I'm not necessarily
I don't see anything on the
see
internet yet.
anything. But yeah, if it's true
Yeah,
and
well, what's your
maybe
source, Sutherland? What is your source, my
yeah,
guy?
where you getting that from? I would like to know that. But yeah, if it does happen, like of course we're gonna find out. We're gonna drop as well. But that's pretty much it for this current episode. We just came to tell y'all the IR. So before we go, let me ask you this: what you think this is gonna do for the final cuts for this team? What do you think this is gonna do for the Bears for the final cuts?
I mean, the way that these, especially defensive players, have been playing, it was some difficult decisions to make,
Yeah,
and that just makes it a little bit more. It just makes it a little easier for these guys to make these cuts. Now it sucks for the people who are hurt, but it is what it is. Especially at the running back situation, it was kind of a toss up between Valus and Homer and the last gentleman, Wheeler. But
Willer, yeah,
at the end of the day, Homer didn't show me anything in the preseason. He definitely got to be up
not
out of there.
shit. Yeah, Homer. I feel like Homer out of everybody on this running back room, he done nothing. He didn't do nothing the past 2 years. So
Yeah,
yeah,
facts.
I'm not a fan of him. Like we all know why he's here. He was at Seattle, so he has a relationship with Shane Waldron. So I'm pretty sure he knows majority of what the plays are, how it's going to be called. But at the end of the day, you ain't gonna be on the field to be using it, so it don't matter. But
He was
I'm
here
still
before Shane Waldron, and he still ain't did
yeah.
nothing.
Yeah, he was here for before Shane Waldron, and he was really brought in for the special team. But I'm sitting here like he's not the athlete for a special team. So yeah, it's a little weird when it comes to that situation. I don't know if they're gonna cut him, but based on his performance, it's cut like he should be cut. But hold on now, there's a second motherfucker that's saying that. Hold on now, did we actually just make a trade?
I mean,
'Cause,
Brad Biggs, they say said that. Let's look up Brad Biggs on the
all right, hold on.
on the
He
Twitter.
did say it. He said they have traded a 6 round. We do have another 6 round pick, so it's definitely
Look at
possible.
that boy. Ryan's Pose is cooking, bro. He never stopped cooking. We're gonna start calling him Chef Pose around this
For
bit.
real. I'm trying to make sure this is confirmed, because I all just want to be like, yeah, we got Chris Williams, and then it was some bullshit. So hold on, wait a minute. Uh, Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like it says it. I'm pretty. I mean, for the most part, Brad Biggs is for the most part pretty reliable when it comes to
Yeah.
certain things to this. So it did say we have traded the 2025 6 round pick for the Browns D tackle Chris Williams,
Oh yeah,
and
this is on CHGO too. They swapping
yeah,
picks with the Browns.
yeah, and they swapping picks with the Browns. So yeah, more depth, and that's what we
So the
heard.
Bears
Post.
the
That's what
Bears
we heard.
get
Yeah,
defensive tackle Chris Williams and a 7th round pick,
7th round pick.
The
Yeah.
Browns get the 5th round pick. Let me look up some Chris Williams.
But
That's,
yeah, we all know that what he said, Poe said, he said we are a little limited when it comes to D tackle depth. And we thought what we made with Darrell Taylor yesterday, we felt like he was gonna be the somebody that we might push in Walker so he could fill in more of that depth at the DT position. But now he said, no, I'm going out to make a move. And
he's a young
I,
guy. This
I'm
is fitting
he is
within
a young guy, 26 years old. Been in the league a couple years. He's 6'2", 300 pounds. So more of a Billings type of archetype build when it comes to that. He played out of Wagner College. He's an undrafted player, and he's played for the Colts, Chiefs, and Cleveland Browns. He played for Indiana for 2 years. So yeah, it looked like he's gonna be a Chicago Bear.
but he hasn't done much. He's only played 13 games.
Yeah.
Um, and he didn't play. I don't know if he got any run with the Browns because from right now, all I see is stats for the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah, because that's the majority of he was at the coast for the majority of the time. The other the Chiefs and Browns, he was only there for a year, and I don't know if he was necessarily on the roster because even with this Cleveland, I think he was signed to the practice squad of Cleveland a couple of days ago. So like it's not a big significant move. Like I said, it's a depth piece, and that's what
Mhm.
he was talking about. He didn't feel comfortable going into this season with not a lot of depth piece when it comes to the D tackle position because for the most part, all we got is Pickens, Billings, Dexter,
Bro,
and you can that's true D tackles.
at 6'3", 302 pounds is crazy measurements, bro. I cannot imagine myself being 300 pounds. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, but
He
yeah.
does have 2 sacks in the preseason and a forced fumble so far this
Six total
preseason.
tackles. Yeah,
So
6 total tackles in his career. I think that's what I just read. But yeah, y'all just got 2 breaking news in the midst of it. So we got 3 players going on IR, but we got one coming in via a trade. So hey, Pose ain't done cooking. Who knows if this the last move he gonna make? Because like I said, every time we think he done, he just opened that pot and add a little bit more seasoning to that joint.
Hey, sometimes
So
you gotta do that, man. That's what you gotta
yeah,
smell it a little bit, see if the recipe working properly.
yeah. I mean, it's really about comfortable. It's being about being comfortable. He really did not feel comfortable about a limited shorts when it comes to D tackles, and who knows what else he's not comfortable with. But um, thank y'all for tuning in for another episode. We been in here. We dropped the news. If Haize drop some more news, y'all know we're gonna be the first to drop it. Thank y'all for tuning in for another episode of Bear Central, and